Welcome back. We are back. We did our intro. We are going to talk about our NFL pick. We're going to talk about more about hookers who are hooked on the cocaine. We are back like cook crab, baby. Yeah. And we are going to talk about the wild card playoff games.
Wild card weekend. It's getting fucking crazy.
We are going to have our executive producer play Vanna White, hold up the sign, and be like, yeah, you know.
Right now?
Afterwards.
No, not now. Well,
All right.
when I say, oh, let's go to the first game, that's where we go. We should have talked about this before, but our planning isn't great. But yeah, we are ready. We are fucking ready for this shit.
Fucking ready!
Fucking ready, motherfucker. Let's go. I need some oxygen. But we are here. We are ready. And we are going to talk about the Chargers and the Texans. Now, Chris, I said the first game. Now, don't get in the way of the camera, but just make sure it's like low enough where you can see.
Oh, I got it.
You know, where you could still see these beautiful faces. You can see that still?
I don't.
Give it to me.
Let me. Yeah, hold it there. I was gonna see if I could see it.
Can you actually see it, or is it blurry?
It's a little blurry, but you can see it for the most part if you squint. a
Well,
little.
you'll hear our picks as we go through. If you don't see it, if you don't see it, zoom in. You can always zoom in.
So we have the Chargers and we have the Texans. I like the Chargers.
I love the Chargers.
I like the fact how Jim Harbaugh, he's back. He's leading his team back to the playoffs. He did it when he was with San Francisco. He took him, and he faced his brother at Super Bowl in 2012. It was brother versus brother. And I'm not going to say they're going to go to the Super Bowl again, but Houston Texans, with Tank Dell being out, that gruesome knee injury he had.
Collins.
Nico Collins is there. He's playing.
He's playing?
Yeah, he's
Well,
playing.
you know who isn't playing? The diva, Stephon Diggs himself. He's still out.
Is it?
He's been out all year.
Oh, see,
It's like week 4 or 5 or something.
I haven't really paid much attention to him because I really don't give a shit about him.
Me neither. Stephon Diggs is an overrated person.
You did like him when he was on the Bills, or you
I
pretended?
really
you did?
didn't like him too much,
Oh.
actually.
You were voting for him. You had to.
Oh yeah, but I mean, he's always been that diva type.
And C.J. Stroud, I just think that him.
He's in his sophomore slump.
Well, it's not really a slump if they made it to. I mean, they did win the division. Yes, it was a shitty.
They have the
division.
worst record of any team in the playoffs.
Yes, but I mean, if you look at his numbers, it's not like he's fucking got more interceptions and touchdowns. It's not like he fucking
Well, he didn't lead his team the way he should have.
But he also has the least to work with on his team than any other team.
He didn't have anything to work with last year, and he made it happen. He beat Joe Flacco and the Browns. The Browns were on a run.
But let me ask you a question. So this year, what did he really have to work with?
Everybody up until a couple weeks ago.
What do you mean? Mixon was hurt.
Maybe. It doesn't matter.
Well,
He's
we
in
gotta
a
talk
slump.
about that.
He's not going to be...
What do you?
He's not taking down Mr. Herbert.
We both like the Clippers. The Clippers, Los Angeles Chargers. It's
said the
all
same
Los
thing.
Angeles.
LAC just seems like, Clippers to me. That has been forever.
No, that's what it was too. I just write like a slow third grader, so I had to abbreviate some of these names so I could fit them. But we like the Chargers. What do you think the score is going to be?
I say it's maybe like a 27-24 game. I see it going up. I see it going in the higher numbers.
I think it's going to be like a 17-14 game, and I think that because they still have a real good defense, Texans. And Chargers, they rush the quarterback like crazy. I think they're in the top 3 with rushing the quarterback, with pressure. So, I mean, well, I don't know. We'll see. But you're going to see C.J. Stroud's going to get sacked, I'd say, at least 3 times.
Yeah.
So, next game, Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
Well, from an actual fan standpoint, you got to go with the Ravens. You have to because they're a lot better team. Pittsburgh's on a 5-game slide.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
from a fan standpoint on you being a Bills fan, you would want Pittsburgh to win.
We're going to beat either one of them. It doesn't matter. But
Ravens going to be a lot tougher than.
they would be. But from a fan standpoint, you got to go with Baltimore. But if you want to throw some points in there, I think it's going to be a close game. With the point spread being 9.5 right now, I would take Pittsburgh with the point spread, but Baltimore's going to win the game. And that's what we're doing. We're making picks on who's going to win the game. It's going to be Baltimore because they're a better team. Pittsburgh's in a decline. Fire Mike Tomlin. I don't care what you got to say about that. He's a horrible coach.
Well,
And
anybody else? Chris, do you think you should fire Mike Tomlin?
Yes.
I just don't understand why.
not anybody else, you fucker.
What
you were wrong.
What other head coach? Not even Bill Belichick could do it. Have a winning season never have a losing season for his first 18 years as a coach with one team.
But if you're gonna make it to the playoffs every year, what's the point if you lose the first round every single time?
Yeah, but I mean, they
Just
won
like
the
he said
Super Bowl.
before.
But at the same
Nah,
time,
that was Cowher's team that won the Super Bowl.
Mike
Yes,
Tomlin won a Super Bowl.
with Bill Cowher's team.
It doesn't matter. He's the one coaching him still.
Okay, he won a Super Bowl.
Who was the
with a
head
team
coach
that
when they
Bill
won his-
Cowher assembled. And
Okay.
retired, and he inherited that team. Just like Tom Brady inherited Drew Bledsoe's job. It happens.
But you still got to be the coach of the team. Look at this. The Jets. Let me ask you a question. Receivers and all of that stuff, right? If they had a fucking coach like...
They had a generational quarterback that year. They won the Super Bowl. Great job. Big Ben was a monster. That's why they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but you also got to...
Because nobody knew what he was
But to
about.
understand-
He came from Miami, Ohio. What the hell is
Yes,
Miami,
but
Ohio?
let me ask you a question.
Came out, turned it
How
up,
many years-
Maddox went down.
How
Roethlisberger
many
stepped
years did what's his name play?
up. Roethlisberger?
Yes.
He retired 2 years ago? Maybe 3.
No, he retired in 2021.
3 years ago.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So he retired. When they won the Super Bowl, what year did they win the Super Bowl?
His rookie year.
He has 2 Super Bowl wins.
No, he doesn't.
Look this up. Mike Tomlin wasn't the coach of fucking Pittsburgh in his rookie year in 2005. He just started in 2008.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay, yeah. He did win 2 Super Bowls.
Yes.
So it wasn't.
So what year was the last time Pittsburgh won the Super Bowl?
2009.
Yeah, 2009.
Okay. So yeah, so he got the 2 Super Bowls. So with that, he 2003 was his rookie year.
Yeah.
So okay, so he was in for what? 5 years, 5 seasons.
Yeah.
When he won. Okay, yeah, so he did. But still, for 3 seasons, or for 2 seasons, he still had to deal with, like Mike Tomlin's coaching and stuff. If they would have called bad plays, if they would have did all that, because you forgot, when Cowher went, so did the offensive coordinator, so did the defensive coordinator. Pittsburgh always had. Why do you think with Pittsburgh?
Okay, so he won a Super Bowl coaching. That's great. There's a lot of coaches that have done that. One in almost 20 years hasn't won a playoff game in damn near a decade.
Why do you think with Marvin Lewis with Cincinnati?
You take Marvin Lewis for example. You make the playoffs, but you don't win a playoff game for a decade. You're gonna get fired.
See when the last time this guy's watching fucking Bluey or some shit on his phone.
All I know is
My whole thing.
you don't win a playoff game for almost a decade. You don't deserve a job.
Listen, well,
It doesn't matter. Regular seasons don't matter. Oh, you have a winning record in the regular season. You're 9-7.
So let me ask you a
9-8.
question.
That's a winning record. Yes, it is, but it's not fucking great. You haven't won a playoff game in damn near a decade.
but you don't fire the guy if there's not better options out there. Tell me who's a better fucking option.
There has been better options.
No. Tell me who's a better option right now.
I don't currently know
Exactly.
the coaches, but it doesn't matter if you're going to make it to the playoffs and lose
But
one and done every year. I'd rather rebuild completely and not make the playoffs for a couple of years, not have a winning record, but then actually win a playoff game.
But the thing about it, so you win a playoff game, it doesn't matter if you're not winning a Super Bowl. What's the point of going? Okay, so
so he hasn't won a Super Bowl in 16 years.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, okay?
He won a
How
Super
many
Bowl
years-
his rookie year.
How many years was Sean McDermott the head coach? This is 4 or 5 right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is 5 years. You win the first.
How many playoff games have they won in that
But
5 years?
listen.
More than Tomlin has won in his career.
But let me ask you a question. How many times have they won a big game? Never. Because they fucking never fucking. This team, it doesn't matter. If you're not going to win a big game,
Let's
it
have
doesn't.
this conversation after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's what you said last year. Did he say that last year? Okay, and what happened? You were wrong. You're going to be wrong again this year.
Fucking Tyler Bass. I will be right this year. God damn it.
We'll see. You would be a rich man if you were always
It's not going to come down to a field goal this time.
Let me tell you something. I'm sure you lost more money gambling with the Bills than any other team.
I
Because
won more money gambling with the Bills than any other team. You want to know why? Because they're 14-1-1 against the spread
let me ask you a question. How many times?
the last 2 years at home.
How many times did you ever bet? How many times did you ever bet that they're gonna win the Super Bowl before the Super Bowl?
I don't do that stuff. I did that one time, and I won. So
You
I'm
did it.
0-0.
How did he win when the fucking
It
Bills?
It wasn't the Bills.
No, I'm saying with the Bills.
With the Bills, never. I only did it one time my whole life, and
Exactly.
I won. So
Listen, all I know is this, and I'm going to tell this for people that gamble: you always lose money gambling. You're never
Always.
on top.
even when you win,
I
you
like
lose.
Baltimore too. We always get this off track with this Mike Tomlin.
All right, Bills and Broncos.
Hold on.
Mike Tomlin
Hold on, I'm
sucks.
not
Nope,
done
we're
with-
done with Mike
I'm
Tomlin.
not done. I didn't even talk about the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game.
All right, what do you got to say?
This motherfucker. So I'm going to talk a little bit of fucking stats and a little bit
All
about
right,
the game.
Let's hear some stats and games.
So, Derrick Henry, he's averaging for over 100 yards a game
Okay.
this year. There's no way that between Warren, the running backs for Pittsburgh, Warren and Najee Harris, I can't see them running more than fucking Henry. I got 80 yards for Henry today. I got for Warren and Najee Harris 30 yards apiece. So they're gonna outrun them.
Yeah, they're gonna stuff them.
But I mean, you even said on this game that it's not going to be a blowout.
It's not.
So
But Pittsburgh's gonna have to rely more on the air attack. than
but
the ground
that's
attack.
no, you can't do that because Russell Wilson again. The only way you're going to be
Well, Fields is going to be playing also.
yeah, he is. But if you're going to use Fields, you need to use some wildcat plays too.
That's all they do when they use Fields.
Yeah,
That's what
but-
they've done all year.
But the thing about it is this: if Russell Wilson's going to suck, you need to take him out and you need to replace him with it. You don't have a chance.
That's where it comes down to coaching.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see what happens. So far, they're doing pretty good because they're playing in a play. But you got to look at it like this: if you're going to face Baltimore, if you're going to face any of these teams, you're going to have to beat the best anyway. I never understood where people are like, oh, I don't want to face this team in the first round. You're going to have to eventually face them anyway, and that's where it comes down to go. But I think that they're going to use Justin Fields for at least 30% of the snaps.
They should.
They really should. And defensively, they need to rush. They need to rush him. J.J. Watt, I'm saying he's going to have 2 sacks in this game.
T.J. Watt.
T.J. Watt. 2 sacks in this game. The reason why is they're going to rush him because they want to stop, what's his name? They want to stop Lamar from moving. I don't think Lamar's going to have more than 20 yards rushing this game, honestly.
I think that'll happen.
You do?
Even if he breaks one big one off, he's going to get.
Yeah, but the thing about it is I think they're going to rely on their rushing more on them, and they're going to go. And this is something else we got to talk about for the fans. Zay Flowers is out, too.
Zay Flowers.
So Zay Flowers is out, so they're gonna have to rely on Mark Andrews. Another bad bet that I don't think is that bad. I didn't take it, but go for Mark Andrews to get a touchdown.
Mark
Chill.
Andrews touchdown.
Tight end. He's been catching the ball a lot more lately. So yeah, but I like that. I did take just like Chucky. I took the point spread only. I took him at 13.5 because Baltimore's just a better team. Okay, next.
Before we move on, I would just like to say, yes, you've never had a losing season in the regular season, but you're 0-7 in the last 7 years of the playoffs. All right, on to the next game.
See
Broncos and Bills.
ya.
All right, this is going to be a good one. You know how?
Hey, can I?
love
Whoa,
the
whoa,
Bills.
whoa, let's go back real quick.
We can't go back.
No,
We're
we're gonna go back. So
Bills are a
no,
great team.
no. So let me ask you a question. Baltimore's a much better team, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if Pittsburgh do lose today, right? If Baltimore does lose next week, you have to be like, I was wrong about Mike Tomlin, and me, you were wrong about it.
If the Steelers beat the Baltimore Ravens, I will run outside in my undergarments,
Undergarments.
screaming,
You're gonna see boobies.
screaming how Mike Tomlin is the greatest coach ever.
I never said that. Don't.
I'll
push
just
it.
say he's a fucking great coach.
There you go. Okay. I don't think you'll be saying that, but
I won't.
I just.
Broncos and Bills. I love the Bills. Once again, though, if we're going on point spreads, I don't know if I would take the Bills. It's going to be a lot closer than everybody thinks.
Isn't it 6? 6.5?
8.5.
Is it?
Broncos. Well, Bo Nix is making a strong bid to overtake Jaden Daniels as the offensive rookie of the year. But however, with that being said, I think the Bills take this. We're untouchable at home. It's going to be a typical Buffalo.
So what's the
Home
score?
The score, I'd love to say, I've been saying this all week, and I just said I think it's going to be a close game. As a Bills fan, I say it's going to be 42-13.
As a realist.
As a realist, I'd say
Non-bias, I mean.
I'd say maybe 24-17.
Okay. And I think it's going to be a little bit more. I think it's going to be like a 28-17 game. Because they are playing at home, and I took the Bills too, as you could see. But the one thing that has to do with it, Denver plays in just as cold weather as
That's completely
you know,
understandable, yeah.
and so that the weather factor, like if you were gonna have Houston going to Buffalo, I think it would have been a lot worse. But just for the cold factor, and it's gonna Alexa, what's the temperature in Buffalo tomorrow? So it's gonna be 33 degrees. So not too bad. See, and it says right on there. Alexa, it's the only female that listens to me.
The only one.
The only one. And she doesn't even listen to me half the time. Sometimes she'll just like shut the TV off or something. But speaking of Buffalo and KC right here.
Oh yeah, look at that game.
Look at that. Look at Josh Allen go.
Superman, baby.
But yeah, I like but for me, I'm a big believer that when you're a rookie too, and there's a lot of pressure going your first year to the playoffs.
There is.
How rare is it for a rookie quarterback to go to the Super Bowl? It never
Pretty
really happens.
Mahomes.
Ben, we were just talking about that earlier.
What, his first year?
Yeah,
His first year he went to the Super Bowl?
he won the Super Bowl
No,
his
he
first
didn't.
year. Yeah, he did.
No, we didn't.
No, he started in 2017. He didn't win the Super Bowl. That was his
Oh.
first year.
Damn.
2020.
He came out
I
of
keep
Tech.
thinking he was.
He came from Texas Tech, and his first year was 2017 in the NFL.
Keep thinking it was 2018. with
Yeah, no,
Josh
he didn't
Allen.
win it as a rookie, buddy. Josh Allen was 2018. And don't worry, he'll catch up to Mahomes real soon with those rings.
Okay, so next game we have Packers and Eagles. Now, this is going to be a surprise to most people, and we might be wrong. And this is going to be a game. Can Matt LaFleur out-coach Sirianni? Because on paper, Eagles are a better team. But I like the Packers over the Eagles in this game. I do. Jordan Love, his elbow, he banged it up. He's not questionable. They're both going to play. Guaranteed they're both going to play.
This is what it comes
Jalen
down to.
Hurts
This is playoffs. You
and-
gotta play.
But Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love are both going to play. But since they played Eagles in week 1 in South America, Packers have not gave up a pass longer than 40 yards.
That's pretty damn good.
And that was week 1. Now, I think Green Bay's defense is going to step up. I like Green Bay, but again, you got to look out. The MVP of the league this year, freaking Saquon Barkley. In my opinion, he is a beast, and he's going to be the one. I believe that this is going to be a running game for the
Well,
Eagles.
I mean, with Jacobs also on Green Bay side, that's he's another beast. People sleep on him.
Well, he's
I
having.
think Philadelphia's run defense is a little too strong. I can't see him running as much, but he is also a pass and catch option. So,
Well, when I looked yesterday, they were for their rush defense. They were number 1.
yeah,
For their pass defense, the overall total defense, Eagles was 1 from last week.
yeah.
Their pass defense was 7. No, was 10, and Packers pass defense was 7. And I think that's why.
I think it's going to be a real tight, low-scoring game.
Oh yeah, so do I. I think it's
It's going to be determined on the ground.
14-10.
I mean,
I could see the first 2 quarters being at the end of the second quarter being at halftime 3-0.
could be.
Because-
I'm saying, I'm going to say 14-13.
So, again, it's still so close, you know.
Yeah, it's
I
going to be a
mean,
close one.
like, and the point spread is.
The Eagles are 3.
Are they? No, it's definitely more than that, I believe.
Oh, I think it's 5.5. I believe the Packers are getting. See if I'm right. Get my numbers.
5.
5. Okay, 5.
And the over under is 45.5.
The
So
Packers money line in the under. That's the parlay of the week right there.
yeah. Oh, I like the under in that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean we'll see what happens, but we both like Power. That for me is the upset of the week.
Definitely.
So
That's definitely the upset
we
of
like to do the upset of the week. That is the upset
You got to go
of
with
the
that
week.
as the upset of the week.
You know. And if we're wrong, we got an excuse. We're not professionals.
Yeah, we're not professionals yet.
Washington and Tampa Bay.
Baker bakes Washington. I think he's going to throw for over 300 yards. He's going to throw for over 3 touchdowns. Might have a pick. Washington, Jaden Daniels is not experienced. Mayfield, former number 1 pick, had a hard time in Cleveland. Came to Tampa Bay, found his home. Tampa Bay is my pick. You heard it here first. Tampa Bay is my pick
Right here.
to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Tampa Bay. Oh, the NFC. You think they're gonna beat the Lions?
There you go.
That is not
You
my.
heard it here first.
That is not my pick to make it to the Super Bowl. But I do have Tampa Bay to beat Washington. Just like Chucky said, Tampa Baker Mayfield always comes through on pressure.
He does.
Always comes through on pressure. Now, I still like Lions to go to the Super Bowl. Because Lions, what they did to Minnesota last week, nobody expected that. They just stomped all over them. They said, listen, bitch, get on the floor. And that's what they did. He ran all over fucking Jared Goff, fucking Gibbs, Laporta. He's probably one of the best tight ends in the fucking playoffs right now. You know, put Kelsey aside, put Mark Andrews aside. Fucking, let me tell you something. Laporta, he's a fucking beast. I like Laporta. So, but Tampa Bay, I like Tampa Bay when it comes down to that game. Jaden Daniels, you know, and
Yeah.
what's his name,
Yeah.
McLaurin?
Yeah.
The receiver, I think it's good, but I just think, like you said, the inexperience of them too. I don't think, and don't get me wrong, Washington got a hell of a good defense, you know. But I think it's gonna be what's the score?
38-17.
24-17.
There we go.
You know, so and I will.
Finally, we disagree on a game. Vikings versus the St. Louis Rams.
I like Rams on this one.
Everybody's hating on the Vikings just because they had a bad game against the number 1 seed on the road. Let's go Vikings.
But
I hope to see Danny Boy. I hope to see Danny Dimes get some time in this game.
let me tell you something, that's not happening. I will put money on that.
Probably won't. But I'd love to see it.
You know, you were so high on the Vikings. You said Vikings are gonna kill last week on the show, and they did. And the thing about it is this: just like inexperience on the playoffs, I just think that Matthew Stafford's experience in the playoffs are going to be able to overtake, Sam Darnold. Like you said, the playoffs is a whole different game than the regular season. And I think on this right here, look at it. You got Cup. Nakua is probably one of the best receivers in the league.
Puka Nakua.
And I mean, I'll give credit to Zach Wilson at BYU since he was. No, I'm kidding. But Nakua, he's a freaking he's a freaking beast. They got Williams. He hasn't been doing too much, but I mean, I like the Rams. That's at 1, and that's a Monday night game, and it got moved too. Now I looked this up yesterday. Over almost 1,700 miles away, Minnesota is from Scottsdale, Arizona, where they moved because of the wildfires. And we want to send prayers out to the people of Los Angeles. God bless. We want to see everybody safe. But it's almost 1,700 miles from Minnesota to Scottsdale, Arizona. It's 6 hours from it's like 383 miles from LA to Scottsdale, Arizona. So you're gonna still have a lot more Rams fans there than you're gonna have Vikings fans. It's still gonna be the home field, and you're gonna have a lot of those people traveling. But I know that tickets did go on sale yesterday at 3 p.m. So for people in Arizona to buy tickets, so you're gonna still have some,
Just like every game, you're always going to have fans of both teams.
You're going to have some Arizona fans. So hopefully the Arizona fans will want Rams to win because that's my pick, and I think that they're going to win. And, and with that, that's those are our picks. And remember.
Fucking picks. Remember, okay? This is the playoffs.
Playoffs?
You either play.
Playoffs?
You want to talk about playoffs? You either play or you're off. Let's get it.
Do you know why? Because you play to win the game.
You play to win the game.
Quoting Herman Edwards, one of the
big old Herman.
Great Jets coaches.
Big Sherm dog.
And remember, we have our Super Bowl pool. So if you want any boxes, we could set it up. You could, for the next 2 weeks, you have a chance to win. We're going to have probably about 10 entries in.
Let's get it, baby.
After that, they're going to go, email me if you're interested, and we'll talk about it through email.
We'll talk some business. You know what I mean?
So we'll talk some. Of course, no money. We can't say that on here because we don't have a license.
Just like the hookers say, roses.
Yeah, roses. Hookers and cocaine.
And roses.
And roses. And, of course, if you're interested, email your pics at loudermouths@gmail.com.
Loudermouths@gmail.com.
You want to like and subscribe?
Like and subscribe.
And check us out on Loudermouths on TikTok. TikTok might not be around for much longer.
I believe it's being bought out on the 19th.
Is it?
Something like that, yes.
And so you're going to have to check us out exclusively on YouTube.
YouTube, baby!
Maybe one day we could be having a Netflix show.
That'd be great.
That would be great. That means we'd be making some money. And then we could do $20 boxes. But trust me, when we start making money, we're going to fix up this setup a little bit more.
Let's get it, baby. Like, subscribe, loudermouths@gmail.com.
Get loud and stay loud, motherfucker.
Fuck you,